the housing team too.
Okay.
Yeah, I can reach
I
out
have
to
the
the
key.
team
I
and
have
see
the
what I
key.
can find.
I have the key. Just call me and I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I said, I left the apartment the way it looked, and I had my
Mhm.
witness with me, and we documented everything. I videoed everything. But all I took was his money because I didn't want nobody to break in, and I
Yes.
took
Oh, yes.
his pills. I nothing else is salvageable in there. There's nothing salvageable in there because that house is full of roaches, and Crystal and them know it was full of roaches. But you will not see not one bag full of stuff that she tried to help him clean up.
Hmm.
There is no like,
You
there's
got
no
a copy of
sections.
the police report that was filed?
Did I?
Yeah, I didn't know if you obtained that.
No, I'm still in the throes of stuff. Like I have to
Yeah,
do
I
things one at a
understand. I
time.
understand.
But can't you get it?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know. I'll see.
I'll call today
I'll
and
have to
see if they're
reach out
gonna
to
give
our
it to
court
me.
liaison because I don't know if we're allowed to get. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
I'll
know.
I'll
This is
try to
the
get
first
it.
time a situation like this has occurred, so that's why
All right. Well, now,
I don't know the right answer.
so if you're gonna continue to let Carolina outreach, then everybody's gonna be at fault. I'm telling you that right now because I already have pastors and everybody on my son's behalf because mental health. This is what could have happened. My son could have been dead, and I would have been playing a funeral rule already, not knowing the full story. My son wouldn't have got justice. She's a mental health professional. As soon as she saw that apartment, there was no way she's going to help him clean it apartment like that. And it says right here, my son has disorganized. See, my son brought home his paperwork. My son wants to
Right.
live, and now he's in that jail. He's himself. He's not out there acting crazy. He ain't giving nobody no hard time in there, and they're taking him to get surgery. So the sheriff know because they the ones that millions of times took him back and forth from the hospital.
Right.
So Carolina Outreach lied. So if you're gonna continue paying that Medicaid, that's gonna be on you. And like I said, I'm a start me a nonprofit because there's too many holes in here, and
Mhm.
I'm calling all these different people when I should just be able to call one person, and they, it's his side against hers. But if you're under psychosis and we have documentation right here in front of me, and nothing's
Mhm.
done to Carolina Outreach, and Krista should be under investigation, and I want her fired, and I really want her um, arrested too, because if it's his word against hers, but he can't speak for himself um, to say all this, and if I were him, I just got stabbed, almost stabbed to death. He's not even like upset in there.
Wow.
So a fight, okay, of course we see the evidence. A fight did occur, but what started it? Did she push him
Yeah,
over the
I
edge?
have no earthly idea how, because I don't know what actually, I don't know what all happened.
Well,
All
you can
I've
get their
seen is,
side. That's
that,
that's your job. That's gonna be your job. Listen to their side, but please don't tell them what I said. I want you to hear from their side, so they can't try to fill it in.
right.
Or are y'all gonna tell him? I mean, just investigate them. Just say what happened on the 15th. I don't want them filling in no holes because I'm already telling you what the detectives told me, and I'm telling you it's a lie. So I want you to hear from. I want you to get their side of what happened on the 15th.
Right.
To be like, did you go in there and like how often did you go in there and clean and all that stuff? Like, ask them.
Mhm.
Did you give him their meds? Did you make sure he took his meds? Did you know he was off his meds?
Mhm.
Did you read the report from Holly Hill? What made you
So
go in by yourself?
what date did he get discharged from Holly Hill?
The 24th. He was in there from the
Oh, January 24th.
mm-hmm. This just
Okay,
happened
and then Crystal went over on the 15th.
of February. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Shouldn't have stepped in there. Stewart should have been there. And then Stewart gonna call me after saying, "Oh, yeah, she has some lacerations." But he would not tell me my son was stabbed through the hand.
Oh,
He's making it seem Crystal was the victim and my son is not a victim. If anything, they're both victims because he did not ask her to come in there and clean.
mhm.
It's not like he said, "Can you help me?" You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Right.
please. She went to his house to demand the clean. He probably, being his nice self, let her in. I don't know what I see. That's why I need answers. Like, what did she say to him to get her to gain entry? Because he usually would be like, no, that's okay. And if he would have said no, she should have walked away. And if he would have lost that apartment, oh well. We should have had to found him a group home or something.
Right.
So now he lost. Okay, so I still have to call SSI. I still have to call SA because I know when you're in jail, you have to call them automatically. So I need to do that. But I'm still making my phone calls, and the more I'm learning, because when Stuart called me that night, I felt so sorry for Crystal. I was like, wow. But I told them, and Stuart going to have to testify if it gets to that point, because I don't know what the courts is going to do. That I told Stuart, I said, yeah, but I told y'all he wasn't right. And he was like, I know, I understand. And he was like, well, if we knew that, you should have known that, we wouldn't have let her go in by herself. He did know that. They know he was sick. Because I'm trying to figure out, when did they see him before the 15th? I'm trying to figure that out myself. I don't know what day they saw him before the 15th. So they didn't see him not well then?
Yeah, I didn't know if they saw him, sooner than that, sometime between the 24th and the 15th.
Right. That's what I'm asking. I don't know that answer. I don't have it. I don't have that answer. Only they know. Because all I know is he called me on the 15th. Because I saw my son on the... Okay, let me back up. I saw my son on February 1st. No, actually, let me see. I called my son... I texted my son January 2nd to say Happy New Year. I called my son on the 3rd to say Happy New Year in person. He told me not to call anymore. But it was psychosis talking. I know. You know they treat family like that. So it wasn't nothing like for me to take to heart. So I was like, well, at least he's, talking on the phone. I was like, okay, it's fine. January 11th. Oh, let me back this up. January 11th, ACT team couldn't find. Susan did not call me until the 20th of January asking me did I know where he was. So I have more. I didn't even know that. So you need me to hold on?
Yeah, I was just typing that little bit that you were just saying. Nope, You can keep going now.
No, just tell me to slow down, because that's why I'm at.
I just want to make sure I capture everything.
I said I didn't know I was going to be born to be an advocate for my own son that almost died. I mean, I've been advocating for him all his life. That's what I was saying. I was going to get into it, but I didn't know it was going to be my son that I would have to start off with. So on the 20th, Susan called me. I ran out there with my key, thinking that he unalived himself, because I hate saying the word suicide, and I really wish that word would go away. That word is very offensive. I wish they would use words like unalive or self-harm. Not self-harm. Self-deactivated. Like, I'm sick of that word suicide. It's just too painful to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm an advocate for that too, by the way. So Susan, when she called me that morning, because I guess she was over there getting his meds, but again, they've been looking for him since January 11th. She didn't call me till the 20th. I ran over there thinking he unalived himself or something, because she couldn't reach him by phone, and I couldn't reach him by phone because he obviously got rid of his phone due to psychosis, because he had a working phone. He only paid $34 when he used to pay his bills. I went over there. I let her open the door because I was nervous. And she walked in there. So she knew since the 20th that house was a mess.
Okay. And on the 20th, he is currently at Holly Hill because he doesn't get home till the 24th.
Because she didn't know that.
Right.
She didn't check Holly Hill. So apparently on the 17th, he went to the ER. Then he ended up in Holly Hill. So yeah, Susan saw that apartment. So she probably had to tell the team. And somehow the team said, go in there, Crystal. So they shouldn't have told Crystal to go in there. I hope I'm not speaking for nothing. I hope you're really going to take this seriously.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Okay. That's why I wanted, to reach out.
Because you have low ratings on Google. Did you know that? You have a lot of complaints on Google's.
I have what on? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Alliance Behavioral Health has a lot of low ratings on Google.
Oh. No, I didn't know
of
that.
client complaints.
Mm.
So I hope you are documenting this and going to take action. I hope somebody can get to his house before the 1st.
Yep,
So
I
y'all
will
can take
send out an
pictures.
email to see if that's something we can do.
Well, then, okay, the detectives already have the information, but I wanted y'all to see for yourself, because if you continue to let Crystal work, then I don't know what to say. Because what Stuart told me was, he was like, well, cause I said, because like when that happened that day, and I didn't know my son was almost stabbed to death because he felt that part, and I didn't speak to the detective until like last week. Was it last week? Because today's only what?
Yeah, I think it was just like, it was last week. Yes, ma'am. Because today's Thursday, the 23rd, and so it was last Wednesday. It's been 8 days.
8 days for what?
Since the 15th. So since the incident occurred.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to figure out when the detective, unless I look it up on the calendar, I got to see when last time I spoke to the detective.
Oh.
Let me look. Let's see. When did I speak to him? Because I know I called him and then he called me back. I think it was one day this week. But anyway, within his last 2 weeks, that's when he told me that my son had significant injuries.
Oh.
And that's when I started calling everybody,
Mm-hmm.
advocating on his behalf to look into it, because I said there's two sides to every story. And then I didn't get this discharge paper until me and my friend went into his apartment yesterday. So I didn't even know this. So I'm learning things like day by day.
Yes.
Because it was in his apartment. Also, the warrant was in his apartment. So, and then Chelsea gave me. So he lost everything because they didn't help him. They didn't help him at all. They lied if they saying, and meanwhile they're getting your funds. So, January he okay. So he got out on the 24th and everything, and I don't think I didn't check on him until the 1st of February. So I spoke to him on the 1st of February. Because again, I figured like acting fills in, like, I don't have to, like, because I'm already doing enough. Like, I do a lot. So I want them to do their job too. So February 1st is when I called him and the phone was on then. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Let me back up. Okay. So anyway, so that's February. Then till current. That's everything that happened. I went to check on him. I went to see him in person on February 1st to see if he needed anything done. And he talked to me through the door. He was like, he's fine. He don't need nothing, which I know that's a lie. But he just, I guess he was in psychosis. So, because he usually let me help him. And then March 15th is when I got the call. So that's the whole story. I talked your head off, didn't I?
No, you are fine. You have been amazing.
That's why I want to
You're
be an advocate. I want
with
to.
your timelines and everything and all that you have. It's been, yeah.
Well, I work with Nomni. I took their class, so I'm just gonna
Oh,
get
okay.
certified with them. I'm gonna get certified.
Yes. Yes.
I think
Yes.
this is
Yes.
my calling. But why did
Oh,
my
yeah.
son almost have to die though?
Right.
And thank God the jail is taking care of him.
Mhm.
But he should have been in the hospital if you have those bad injuries. Why didn't he go to the hospital? Why didn't they like let him stay in the hospital for a few days? They assume that he's a monster. $60,000 bail, and because we don't know what they're gonna say when he goes to court. We don't know what. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to talk to the defender public. I left a
Mhm.
message, so you know how that go.
Right. 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 Right.
Tomorrow's Friday, so if I don't hear from her today, I'm gonna try tomorrow. I'm trying to give her
Yes.
24 hours.
Right. 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 So, all
Oh,
right. Well,
oh,
I
oh, oh, oh.
appreciate.
Let me
Oh,
back
yes,
up.
ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
I forgot because I had to call. I was very close in contact with the public defender's office in the late because when I went to court the day after, I went to court to see what everything was going on with the court process to get information because they say he was going to be arraigned on the 16th. He wasn't even he was already arraigned. So they gave me to run around all day. And then I went upstairs to the public defenders and she said, well, it's going to take a while to get a court appointed attorney. You know how they talk. Y'all understand that they don't talk to you really well. But she took my name and number and she gave me hers and I've been calling her every day and I finally found out yesterday that he has a court appointed attorney and he also has an alliance caseworker.
Yes. So when I found out about him I didn't find out till Friday morning, and that is when I said, hey, let me get him assigned to somebody so that we can assist with anything that needs to be.
Y'all need to take care of him because he didn't deserve this. He was out of his mind. Otherwise, my son is quiet.
Right.
And he did have a little girlfriend. He did have a little girlfriend. Huh?
Issues. I said it sounds like he hasn't had any major issues, anything quite like this.
No, you will not find not one blemish. He's never been arrested.
So this is out of character.
It says psychosis. He's not like this. He don't bother them, and that he don't even let them in. He tells everybody when he don't want to be bothered, I'm fine. But he don't take his meds. They just drop it off. They can't force him, they said. But he needs to be, okay, I hope the judge makes sure he's on his shot. I hope the judge gives him hospitalization, but not forever because there's schizophrenics on this street every day. There's homeless people on this street every day. My son should not be locked up forever. Them charges need to be dropped, and Crystal needs to be fired because she didn't do her job properly. So Susan saw that apartment on the 20th, and I have documents going everywhere. So trust me. I want this information out.
Is Susan the nurse on the ACT team?
Yeah, she was nice. Everybody's always nice to me, but they ain't doing their job. But they real nice.
Okay.
My son never gave him a problem.
Wow.
Now, I hope you're advocating for his rights. I thought that's who you are.
Right. Well, so that's why we assigned him to a post-transition care worker or care manager, excuse me, so that we can make sure that we're providing whole health, not just behavioral health, physical health, all encompassing.
Okay.
To try to make sure something like this never happens again and that he is well supported. And
he could have been dead. But I wouldn't have known it. I wouldn't have gotten no more information. So I thank God he's alive. But Carolina Outreach has low Google ratings too. A lot of complaints on there of not being helped. But but they tried to stab him. I mean, I don't think nobody else was stabbed by the ACT team. My son was the first one stabbed by the ACT team.
Wow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to our housing team and see if anybody can get over there preceding the 1st of March. And then I'm going to see if I can't get my hands on that police report. Okay. And if I do you want me to send you a copy?
Definitely, but I'll try to. I didn't think of it. I can't think of everything.
Oh,
so I'm thinking of one thing at a time. This just happened on the 15th. It's not even the end of February yet. I can see if this was 3 months into it. So I don't know what the judge is going to do, but I do want him to get some help because he has nowhere to live now.
Right.
He can't go back there. So he has nowhere to live. So he needs to be in the hospital. But I don't want it to be so far away where I can't visit my son because when he was in Asheville, I couldn't hardly visit him. I couldn't do all that driving. And you guys are the ones that helped get him out of Asheville. When I had a big conversation with y'all, we had a whole conference call. So you guys are the one that got him out of Asheville and back to Wake Med and got him his apartment. And I was thanking y'all for that. But the ACT team didn't do their job being his supportive team. And, now I found all this stuff out. She knew he was sick. So I think she should be fired or at least put on leave until investigation is over. But she's still working there. And like I said, I am saying a fight ensued, but what's the real story? So she obviously got up. She got up from being unconscious and was able to stab him and leave. So he didn't assault her like physically, sexually. So all that need to drop because that would be on my son's record forever. And then he'll never get an apartment forever because he needs to be in somewhere where like you know those senior citizens, don't y'all have like stuff for that for him? That there's people on property that can help him every day, but he can still live in his own apartment because he gets nervous in group homes because
Right.
he be thinking they trying to do something to him too. So group homes don't really work, but he don't need to be locked away forever. He just needs to get stabilized, like you know, and then he and be put on a shot. I'm done.
So, no,
I
so
kept you on the phone for a
preceding
long
him being
time.
housed, where did he live? Who did he live with, or was he at a group
He lived at
home?
assisted living in Chandler
Assisted living. Okay.
in Asheville, and you
Okay.
guys pay for that too.
Okay. Yep. I just wasn't sure where he lived preceding
But he was
getting
doing
laid
good
off.
in there. But obviously he wasn't happy there.
Right. Oh, I
He didn't
understand
have
that.
you just laying in the bed all day. You don't have no.
Oh.
You're a young man. He was younger. What 18? With
Mm-hmm.
grown adults. He didn't have no life in there. So he
No.
finally
Oh,
got
absolutely
depressed.
not.
Went to the hospital. The hospital in Asheville turned him away, and they almost called the police on him because he refused to leave. He wanted asylum. He wants to go in the hospital to get out of like when he feels like he's alone and he's scared. He probably was scared because now he looks like a little boy.
Oh, wow.
He's my little boy
Okay.
again.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on those two things right now, and then I will let you know what and if I find out anything and how we can proceed further.
Okay, so please let me know between. I know it's short notice, but like I said, they did not do their job. There's no food in there or
Mm-hmm.
nothing,
Right.
and it
Okay.
looks like he was eating out of cans like a dog.
Oh my.
He was eating dry beans, and I left everything like it is, and it's on video. Dry
Yeah.
beans, um, and he might get something from McDonald's, but that's not substantial. So he was
Right.
140. My son used to be like one. I don't know. You have to get all the doctor's notes to see. He was losing weight because he wasn't eating properly. He was doing it in a way, like Crystal said, decomposing, decompensating. She knew that. She said it. So there's a whole
Huh.
lot that need to be fixed, and I'm coming to you because you are the Medicaid people. So I know he lost his apartment, but now you know why. But it shouldn't be like sometime in the future. I don't know that he should be able to get all his privileges back because I don't know if he's gonna lose his SSI, his SA in homes. I don't know. I have to call him, but I know he
Right.
lost his
His
apartment.
SA in home, since he'll still get it for March. I'm sure it's already been processed, but April, I don't believe so.
I mean, he don't have
And
nowhere to use
SSI,
it.
I think, can continue for 90 days after, like if someone's incarcerated. I don't think anything changes for 90 days, but I'm not 100% sure. But for some reason, I'm thinking if he gets out within 90 days, then it does not affect his Social Security.
Okay. Well, he needs to be in the hospital for a
Right. And then
while.
I don't know if yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that all plays out.
I know. I
I'm not
know.
well versed in Social Security.
No, I'm talking about the courts. We don't know what they're gonna do, so we don't know
Right.
yet.
Because the court system can move in a snail's pace sometimes. They
Mhm.
just keep pushing it out, pushing it out, pushing it out.
Right.
So, but yeah. So I think we'll learn more maybe March 9th in regards to that because I think that's his next court date.
Well, I didn't know that. I knew it was the first, and then I found out that there was surgery on the first. So I have yet to ask. So I'm just trying to do what I can to
Oh
find out
yeah, no,
stuff.
I understand that. And I actually have a PDF if you want me to send it to you, the Wake District Court, let's see, court case summary that it lists his charges, but down at the bottom it says first appearance hearing was 9 a.m. on 2/16, and it says continued to 3/1/2023, and then continued by court. Well, that
Mm.
one says 3/1. Another one says 3/9.
Mhm.
I don't know
No,
exactly.
because he has a surgery on 3/1, so they had to change it.
Oh,
But
that's what it
I
was.
didn't
And
know.
then, yep, and then updated, it says the next court date is 3/9/2023. So
Yeah.
what is the surgery? Is it for his hand?
Yeah, he was stabbed through the hand.
Yeah. So he's getting surgery to. Okay.
So you're gonna continue to, I mean, I'm not asking, it's rhetorical. So Chris will keep working after that. She should still be put on leave until all this is done.
Mhm.
So, I mean, she said she was the victim, but he was too. So
Right, and so I don't know what Carolina Outreach